Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Traister, and I am here today with Dan Dalton, one of the founders of the law firm Dalton and Tomich. Dan has helped a number of churches leave the United Methodist denomination and keep their property. Thank you for joining me today, Dan.
It's good to see you, Emily.
Good to see you as well. So, Dan, what are the top 5 tactics bishops use to delay a local Methodist church from voting on disaffiliation?
Well, these are tactics that are used by every bishop and every district superintendent in every conference in the United States. It's really a common theme that we see. The first one is basically a plea just to wait for some resolution at some time that could occur somewhere in the future. And it's really interesting if you really kind of deal and dive into this with the district superintendent or a bishop. What they'll tell you is something's going to happen at some time that's going to resolve these issues. We just want you to wait. And again, the problem with that is that's the plea that's been going on for all over 50 years now. And it's not changed. It all likelihood will not change, in my opinion. So the plea is step one. Step two is, if that doesn't work, is that the conference or the bishop or district superintendent is going to put pressure on the pastor and the leadership team. By putting pressure on the pastor, it's going to say, listen, pastor, you got to keep your church in line. If you don't keep your church in line, we're going to move you from this real nice church in this great suburb with this wonderful parsonage that you have to a not so great area. And to the leadership team, they're going to say, remember that bad pastor you had in the past? Well, he's available and I'm going to put you back there, put him back there. So, putting pressure on the leadership team that they're going to replace your beloved pastor with someone that is just not that great. So that's the second step that they use. The third step that they use is to really have a forcing a vote on the tailored disaffiliation plan. You might recall in July 2019, the tailored disaffiliation plan was voted on by the General Conference. The bishops initially refused to allow anybody to use that plan. And really until this year, until 2021, it wasn't utilized by any conference. But now what bishops are doing is they're saying, okay, you want to leave, we're going to have to vote on the disaffiliation plan. And oh, by the way, their argument is going to be, if you vote on the disaffiliation plan, then you have to vote and say that you disagree with the current stance of the Book of Discipline. If you're a conservative church, you agree with the current stance of the Book of Discipline. So of course the membership is going to say, we don't agree, or we don't disagree with or we agree with the Book of Discipline, I should say. So they're not going to vote in favor of disaffiliation. And then the bishop's going to say, okay, the matter's been decided, it's been voted on, we're not going to discuss this anymore, and walk away at that point in time. So they kind of use a little bit of a backdoor pressure on the local church leadership and pastors on forcing a vote on that. The fourth way they do this is, even if you do vote to disaffiliate, is to provide you with an incredibly high number to disaffiliate. And the idea is that, they're going to say, okay, you're going to have to pay past apportionments, which you can calculate, an unfunded pension and healthcare liability, which you can't calculate, and they're not going to tell you how they calculated it. And they're just going to give you such a high number that you're going to kind of throw up your hands and say, we can never pay this. Again, they'll use that as a pressure point. And then the fifth way is they're going to threaten to close a church using claiming exigent circumstances under 2549(3)(b). We've seen this playbook all throughout the country, is what I said at the beginning of the video. We know how to address these issues, and we can help your church protect your property, preserve your ministry moving forward, and allowing you to have that ministry you've always wanted to have, to be free of these issues and claims and these pressures, and do the ministry that you want to do in your community.
As always, thank you, Dan, for your insight. And if you're watching this video and you have any questions, or if we could be of any service to you, please feel free to give our office a call or email us today.